systems and national policy response. Now, for this section, I will invite my co-moderator, Dr. Joe Ageo, to come and take over. And as we move, just to thank all the presenters before us. And I was just mentioning to Clark that after the guests have gone next week, maybe the partners should be requested to organize another session where we can have quite a number of governors and county governments sitting in the meeting, for the simple reason that waste management and agriculture are county functions. So if we have a meeting of National Assembly, the Senate, Council of Governors, or some governors, to get to understand this, we will be speaking to those with the primary function to help work on these functions, and those making policy at the national level, that is law, that's National Assembly and Senate, in order for us to be able to strengthen our cooperative devolution in order to deliver on this issue better. Thank you so much, and Karibu Joe again.
Thank you very much, Senator Muma. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to begin with an announcement that the segment that I'm about to run should have ended 5 minutes ago. That therefore means that we are running a bit late, so we will try and keep everything very, very tight. And as we've heard from the various speakers this far, the methane question has become extremely urgent all around the world, because it is something that, as the scientists have demonstrated so eloquently, sits at the heart of the whole question of climate change. But for countries like ours, it is more than just the environment. It cuts across development, food security, livelihoods, trade, and increasingly even the question of climate justice. So for us, it is a question that sits at the intersection of climate action and human survival. And this is because we have been told that more than half of the emissions that emanate from this country are actually comprised by methane. And that is an interesting finding, because unlike many of the industrialized countries where methane is closely linked to fossil fuels, here it's actually linked to biological and livelihood systems, and that makes it so relevant. Now, we want to explore many aspects of this in a very short time, such as how should Kenya balance climate responsibility with development needs, what practical methane solutions are available. We've seen some of them here, and we want to get a government perspective on that. What role should Parliament play, which is the main reason why we are at these holy grounds? And how should counties prepare, because a lot of this is within the remit of the devolved unit. And then the question of finances, technology, and the whole lot. And of course, my colleagues in the media, how do they engage with this in ways that are more relatable? And I'm going to try and make the conversation exactly that, relatable. So ladies and gentlemen, I will not answer those questions. There is an eminent panel that has been prepared for me, and I'm going to just introduce the ladies and gentlemen. And as I introduce you, please do come up and take your favorite seat here. Then I will sit on the one that is left. All right. So we have Dr. Monica Olala. We saw her earlier representing the State Department for Livestock. She's a Senior Deputy Director for Livestock Production. Please come and just take a seat, and I would appreciate if you could just give a round of applause for showing up and for coming up the stage. Next, from the State Department of Agriculture, Mr. Harun Rashid Khator, Senior Director, Agriculture. Please give him a hand clap as he comes up. I think I saw him here. Oh, All right, I think he'll be joining us shortly. We also have Esther Wangombe from the State Department for Energy. She's the Director of Renewable Energy. I hope I got that correctly. Please come up the stage. There is also Mr. Peter Maneno, PS, representing the PS, State Department for Environment. He is an Assistant Director for Greenhouse gases. Is that how it goes? Please give him a hand clap. So we will start as we wait for Mr. Kator to join us. So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I know I can see you with very long speeches, and I would seek your indulgence that we do not read those speeches, but just speak very briefly for just about 2 minutes, where each of your departments is coming from with this question of methane, why this is suddenly so urgent for us, and why Kenya is paying such a close attention to it. I don't know whether we want to start with you, Dr. Olala.
Thank you so much. Good morning. Okay, indeed, the State Department of Livestock Development is honored to be part of this discourse this morning, and the previous speakers underscore the importance of livestock development within the economy of this country. Maybe just to start us off, I believe we have had breakfast today, and I may want to know maybe how many of us have had a taste of a livestock product within our breakfast, and also whatever you ate last night. That clearly demonstrates the importance of livestock development within Kenya and beyond. I would like to underscore that 30% of the Kenyan population depend on livestock and livestock products as a source of livelihood and also their cultural incomes within the ASAL areas. And also the remaining 70% of the population also does mixed agriculture, which is also quite critical for this economy. But I would want to highlight that when we look at our levels of production, currently the demand of red meat is about 1.4 million metric tons, but the supply is only about 600,000 metric tons. And that clearly demonstrates a clear and great gap that needs to be filled, of which I think that is one of the solutions that the partners that are here are about to offer. Then when we look at the chicken demand, it is about 170,000 metric tons, that is of eggs, that is the trays, vis-a-vis the supply of 63. Also not half, and therefore there's still work to be done. Then when I look at the egg demand, we are currently at 162 million trays of egg as demanded, but the supply is basically 94. And that clearly demonstrates that we need to bring to bear viable solutions that are climate friendly to be able to fill the gaps. The State Department is alive to what the livestock contribute in terms of methane gas emission maybe due to their natural processes. Of course, it is natural that we have the rumen. The rumen, if I use the technical terms,